Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. I'm going to do a bit of roadmap planning here because we've got only, 3 weeks till the demo's deadline that we've set for ourselves. April 1st we should have the demo ready, and we've got a lot of work to do. My apartment's AC is out, so I am melting and tired and feel like puking generally, but I can't sleep. It's so hot, so I might as well stream. But if I'm low energy, that's why. What's up, Loki? Hey, good evening there. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, we've got to figure out the last step for our demo. We've got a lot left, so I'm gonna just take a couple minutes to plan, and then we can kind of get a new priority workflow going so that we can hopefully stay on schedule for the demo. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Magic tutorial we did in Mage's Castle. I've already got overworld music. Oh, actually, I don't have overworld music. I have a title screen music made. Touch up inventory art. Maybe we'll do that. I don't think we'll do this magic dust. We just aren't going to have a shop because I'm kind of changing how it's going to, there's not going to be a shop you buy for. I think the coins are mainly going to be used for beds at the inn. Man, we've got a lot of stuff. Gamepad support, we already did that, which is really good. Limited inventory, new overworld sprites. I don't think we're going to do heart containers for the demo. There's just not enough room for us to have 4 unique places for heart containers, so we won't do that. And this basic shop is going to be turned into the refinery. We've got a lot of stuff, dude. We got a lot of stuff left. Wow. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff left. Okay. And this isn't even all the stuff. So what we have is number 1 priority right now is our dungeon, because I don't exactly know how complicated it's going to be to design the levels for that. So that's a big question mark for its difficulty. But we also have so much stuff. Like the refinery needs a new character sprite sheet. It needs new art for the building. Hey Squinch, what up? We're trying to get a game plan for how we're gonna tackle the rest of the stuff. We still need to make Mage's Castle. We've got a whole bunch of little things. Like our heart bar needs to render only our max hearts. We need to add hearts as a thing in breakable crates so that we can restore some health. We need pushable object collisions with chasms so that we can push things down a chasm and make it fall. All these things are like little tiny things, right? We need the vibrancy bar for our spellcast elements. We need rendering our spellcast elements in our A slot. We need inventory lock for our tunics, and we need tunic overlays for the death animation, as well as maybe falling. I don't know if we fall with the green tunic, what shows up. There's a lot of stuff. I think the next hardest thing here, instead of trying to do, I guess we could do the warp zone at least. We should do the warp zone from Mage's Castle to get out to the entrance of Mage's Castle, even though we don't have it drawn yet. So we'll probably just add that warp zone. Wow, it is so hot in my apartment right now. I feel like puking. Okay, and then we've got a lot of good stuff. We've got a lot of shit left, though. You know, all said and done, the refinery, other than making a new character NPC skin, we have all the stuff in place, right? We can draw a little refinery and then nice. Yeah, good luck with that, Loki. Nice. Yeah, I'm tired, but last night I didn't get much sleep. It was just too hot for me to sleep, so I was thinking about a bunch of game stuff, but I didn't get many hours of sleep. But if I go lay in bed, I'm just gonna be tossing and turning for hours, so might as well just program. I might need to find a thinner shirt to wear, though. It's just too freaking hot. Okay, yeah, I think we add the warp zone for Mage's Castle. And then instead of designing Mage's Castle, we go straight to dungeon level design. And we see what limits are there, because I think that's ultimately the toughest thing, because I don't know how the crates are going to interact with the chasms. And then we need to, forge some puzzle stuff. And then we have the whole loot system to worry about too. I'm going to rehaul the notes for the loot so that we can play more complex songs. But it's going to be a lot of trial and error, because the strings, we need to separate the notes in a way that the strings played together sound harmonious, which right now they do, but it means we have a limited range of like 9 notes, I think. So it's not even a full scale. Plus, we can do a combination of the A and B buttons being a 3rd fret, so that can give us 4 new notes to add to our scales. So we've got a lot. We've got a lot, to be honest. We've got a lot. And what? It's the 10th. We have to finish in 21 days. Yeah. So we've got 3 weeks to go ham on this. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can do it. Okay, so I think Dungeon 1 is our first priority. And then, if we keep tackling the hardest stuff first, it'll get easier, right? So we have to kind of go for the hard stuff. We've also got to merge this branch into main, probably today, so maybe we do it now. Yeah, let's do it now. Was this a fast forward merge? Look at us. Look at us go. Okay. Alright. We're merged in a main now. Nice. Okay. So let's do the first thing, which is add our warp zone for our mage castle to come back. So what that's going to look like is on this 1019 scene. 1019, we need to add a warp zone right down here so that we can trigger going to the front, the overworld part of Mage's Castle. So let's see how we're doing the warp zones. It'll be in the declarations that we add it. We don't have a warp zone here, man. We've got to add the warp zone somewhere. Wow, I don't get why this didn't show up. Okay, what is this? Why are... Oh, this is just the insert warp zone. Okay. Okay. So we have this nasty function. It takes in just these raw parameters here. I left us a little cheat sheet. But all we have to do is insert a warp zone. We give it the map that the warp zone's at. So in our case, 1019. Let's do this. It'll be Mage's Castle. Okay, and we insert the warp zone. Now we give it the row column, so 1019. Then we give it a warp 2 row, warp 2 call, which is gonna be 7.3? 7.4. I believe it's 7.4. Okay, and then we have a warp from X, warp from Y. So that is the tile that we're coming from. So if we look, it'll probably crash. Yeah, we have to kind of place it at the right X and Y. So this looks like it is tile 1, tile 2, tile 3, 4, 5. So 5 on the Y and 8 down. Is that right? Yeah. 8th tile down, 5 over. So 8th tile down, that's actually 5 over. So 5 is the X, 8 is the Y. And then when we warp, let's just go to the center. I think let's just do 5, 5, see if that's appropriate. And we'll see if the warp zone's in there. Oh, there's the warp zone. So it's green. This isn't the right scene. We want to go not to 7.4, but 9.3, I think. 9.2, actually. Because this is 8.2, so 9.2. So 9.2, this needs to be probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, and 3 down. So 9.2 is really where we need to warp. And then 1019 and 9.2. We want 10. Oh shit. No. 9.2 is right. But these two, 5 and 8, it was too high, right? So it needs to be a lower green box here. That's still too high, but it's looking better. We need to get a little higher on the warp 2Y, only a 3, and then this is a 4. And then we need to move our warp zone down. Yeah, we need our warp zone down, so 10. Y. Cool. Okay, so when we do a warp to X, let's just go 1 over. Now, okay, so one thing I don't like is we don't have control over where the warp zone from the other spots coming in. So this is the warp zone to come back here. Oh god. That is so jacked up. Well, okay, so we have this hard-coded for like a warp zone starting at the other location. So we kind of have to swap. We have to swap these two. So it's like we're going to go from 19 or yeah, we need to swap them so that 9-2 is where we insert the warp zone, warp 2. And then 10-19 is the second one. And then we need to swap these two. So yeah, we need 4-3, then 5-10, I think. Nine, 2, and 10-19. Because inserting a warp zone gives 2. It's a warp 2 and a warp from. Oh god. Shit. Okay, so the warp from X needs to be the 5-10. That's so wrong. Okay, we're at least on the right. Shit. Okay, so that looks 4-3. Okay, so this one should be what, 4-10? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Ay, 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 where is it? It was there. Okay, it was there. Okay, so this is the warp 2. This is so jacked up. Okay, we should see it peaking here. Yeah. Yes, see, we need the warp zone on top of us so that when we walk back up, we'd come back. So this now just needs to be the 3, 4, or whatever it was. The warp zone exists right above where we teleport the player. Okay, so we just need to be 5 and 3. Okay. Okay, so the warp zone's at least working. It's not pretty, but we're not done with the design for it, so this is fine for now. At least we can get to the mage's castle from the warp zone, so we can come in here and just trigger the mage castle. Cool. Okay. Okay, so we've got at least the warp working. We have to start designing the first dungeon in our game. So I wanted to build it out like, we've got a placeholder of 6 frames here. I don't know if that's what we're gonna do, but it's a good starting point at least. So I had this idea. And I basically want to do I want to add a bat spawn zone here in the first page, right? So that when they walk into the dungeon, they see that a bat will come out. And also, I think I wanted to add a crate. So let's see what happens if we put you know, we don't have a proper chasm gap built out, but these singular ones will kind of work for now. So we're drawing those in the above ground layer. We need to insert a crate, maybe like right here, and then we can add a bat hole like up here or something. So in order to add the bat hole, we have to come in here and draw these 3 tiles. Right? Oh gosh. These 3. Okay, so if that's our bat hole, then we need to also do the above ground here. We need to change to light mode for this. Because we need to see our overlay for the shadow for the bats to come in. So this is what we've got. Yeah. So the bat flies in there. That needs to be in the top level tile. Okay. And then our we need something else in our ground tile. I think we need this. No, we need look, if we take a look up here. Oops. It's just empty. Okay, I don't think I like that. It's okay. So, yeah, we just build out. See, I don't like the transparent implied blackness here. I don't like that, but it's what we've got. So let's okay, so I guess we just need nothing on the ground tile then for those 3. Let's see if that's how it is up here. Yeah. Oh, no. It is we draw these in the above ground, in the ground level. Okay. And then I'm assuming nothing in the above ground. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now that we've got this first room, we need to insert a crate, we need to insert a bat, and then change the spawn point so that it's feeling okay. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna save our game right outside the... Oh, come on, man. We gotta move him. Yeah, let's save our game right here. Son of a bitch. We turned off Bitzer for the web deployment, so we just have to go fix that. Okay, I want to remove Mage here because he does not belong there. Yeah, we're not going to insert him here. Okay. Yeah, we're going to save our game right here. Cool. Now if we load, we should come back there, which means if we start from here, I think we load. No, but we can hit L and load. Okay. Cool. So we've got our place. We need to add the bat spawn. So let's do that. Cause so the whole idea I had for this first dungeon is that I wanted to give like a boulder or something in this room, and I'll put it like right here so that you can like push it in the hole and see that you can push it in a chasm. But I also wanted to introduce the crates, because crates can be broken with your magic here. So the idea is you're going to be using your magic to protect yourself from the bats, right? But the magic, if it gets in the way of the crate, will destroy the crate. So the idea is you can push a boulder or a crate. You could push any pushable up into the wall, and if it's blocking the bat hole, then they will cease to come out of that hole. So the idea is we kind of invite them with a boulder where they like, if you mess around with it, you can see that a boulder can be pushed into a chasm. It can also be pushed up against a wall, and you can block the bats from respawning by the time you cleanse them. They respawn right away unless there's a thing covering their spawn hole. So the idea for this first dungeon is we'll have a boulder at the beginning or a crate, and then we notice that the crate is destroyed when you use your spellcast. So you have to kind of strategically place the crate and push the crate in order to block the hole for the bat so that you don't get overwhelmed by bats. But if you accidentally break the crate with your magic, you're going to be overwhelmed with bats. So the goal is to kind of like sneak, and when bats come up, you get away from the crate so you don't accidentally break it, and then you attack the bats, and then you push the crate, and then you take a break and kind of push and pull like that. So that's the idea for this dungeon here. So we need to add a pushable object, and we need to add a bat spawn. So let's see how we're doing the bat insertions. We insert them into the scene. We don't really have, this is kind of weird. We aren't defining the X and Y of this guy. How was that? We have a spawn row and a spawn column. That's how we do it. Okay, and then depending on the row, if it's a row of 1, the bat's gonna have a downwards entrance velocity for the bat entrance, and then it's gonna trigger to attack mode. So this is the kind of bat we want for the dungeon. I'm gonna say that we're gonna insert it here. This is gonna be dungeon 1. We might pull these out into specific dungeon build outs so that they're not all clogging up our map declarations, but for now this is fine. So we need to find what scene we need this at. When we warp zone, we're now at 411. So we need to give a 411 bat, and we need to give the spawn row of 1, column of, was it 3? And we'll see how that goes. That wasn't good. I should have read what that I should have read what that crash was. Entity 151 state machine. Oh, we need to change. Okay. Yeah, we need to give the bat a state machine to change to. So right here. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, this is nasty. Okay, well, we basically need to say, since we know this is a bat, there's only going to be bats in here, so I think all we have to do, you know, we have to define the animations table for it. I don't get why we can't just do that in the entity update. I just could not figure that out. But also change it to pursue. So here we need both of these. We'll take out the condition because it's not very necessary, and then also the state machine. So let's do that. Where's our dungeon 1? Then we give our bat. We don't need this. I think we just need to go. We need to change this for a 411, so we'll do that. So we'll do that. And then we need to give the bat state machine for it as well as changing it to a spawn. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure out a better way to do this, obviously, but this should work for now. Okay, so we go to our 411, we give our bat all the different state machines. See, why can't this be in the bat init, you know? This should just be in the bat init, so we don't have to do this all the time. Yeah, okay, we should do this. For I gets 1, comma, entity count, do this stuff so we have access to the ith index. And as we add other bats, there's only going to be one bat in this scene, so I'm not worried about that for here, but we still need to prevent the crash. Whatever. We could just hard code in the 1, but if we want to play around with 2, we've got that ability. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully we get a bat flying in from the top here. Nice. Nice. And then he goes into pursue mode, so he'll come and chase us. Sweet. Now he'll spitball us, and we can hit him and cleanse him. As soon as he flies off, he resets that timer, and then a new one will come in. At least that's what's supposed to happen. We're probably not removing him from the table. So there's a way for the respawn. Not sure where we're doing it. Let me see something. I'm gonna go back to our old dungeon and see if they respawn. I thought we did have that. And they killed me. I suck. Oh no. Okay. Let's just suck less at our own game here. Oh, that should have hit him. Oh my god. We're gonna give us health. Like a cheater. Okay. Oh my god, as I instantly would have died. Okay. That should have hit him. Okay, we don't have it. Okay, I thought for sure we had like a table.remove entity once it flies off. And we might be doing that. Wow, I don't think we have it. Okay, so I guess what we need to do, we could set a little event listener, and once the bat X or Y positions out of the boundaries of the playable zone, we can trigger an event listener to run a function that resets the bat's position and then updates it and resets its corrupted status so that it comes out, right? And then we could just trigger that boolean to be false if it's being blocked. So we have to kind of figure out how to do that. But it should be possible. Excuse me. Let's see. It'll be in our bat walk state, right? So like, or our bat flee state, because we only want to check. Yeah, do we not have a remove in here? No. Okay, so I think we want. Yeah, I think we want a method here that resets the bat's values to whatever we get defined as. It's a little tricky because if we pull from the entity defs, we have to know which index from the entity list we're trying to reset it to. So that gets messy. I thought we had this already. Shoot. Okay, so let's take a look at in our entity defs how we do this. Not in our entity defs, it's in our declarations. Okay, so this stuff, right? Like this is the stuff we need this passed in as an original spawn row. I guess what we can do is once we init it, let's see if we do that in our bat. Yeah, entity. See, we should have a spawn row. Okay. See, we have a spawn row, spawn call. I'm gonna add that we have an original spawn row. You know, so we know how to reset it. Okay, and it's an optional parameter here. But if we pass it in, actually, Okay, if we don't, yeah, if we give a spawn row or spawn call, it will assign it. So let's just test. I just want to make sure there's no funny business with reading this value, so I just want to try to say go into, this is crazy. Do we spawn in the cave? No. Okay, we spawn into the bat cave. This is a 411 we want to reset it to, so we'll go to our spawn and go to 411. Okay, so now in our play state, I just want to make sure the entity, the bat entity, has an original row and position. I think we should, but I don't know. For some reason, I think it won't carry over unless we define it somewhere else. Let's see, though. Original row. And we'll concatenate it with a map. Was it 411? Map 411. Dot enemies, entities. Doesn't it like there? Yeah, it's into our entities table. And the entity should have... Let's see if spawn row exists. Oh. Oh, we're stupid. Just gotta close that parentheses. Well, bad argument 1. So, do we have a spawn row? Not a draw, a print. Okay, we've got a spawn row. Do we have an original spawn row? It's not carrying over the original spawn row. Okay, see, I thought it might not do this. Original spawn row. I really thought, okay, original spawn row. Actually, okay, no, this could be, it is 1, so that is correct. So if we do a call, what is that? No. Okay. And you know what? This isn't a big deal now that I'm thinking about it, because we're not changing where it's spawning from, so the reset, this value doesn't change. So we probably don't even need this now I'm thinking about it. Shit. Okay. Okay, so we want to write a function for our flee state. So we need to see which values need to be reset, right? So anything that changes over time and anything from our declarations here, you know, we need to be able to reset, you know, the spawn row remains the same. But the X and Y, I guess the spawn row changes the X and Y. So the spawning value changes, the corrupted value changes. Walk speed is probably the same, so only a few things change. So let's try to do this where we say we're going to have a function. It's going to be called bat flee state reset original position. And we only need to do a couple of things. We reset its health, change it to spawning, become corrupted, and I think that's it. Okay, so if we call this reset original position, maybe it will reset the bat to come fly out again. Now let's see, in our, we have a bat spawn state. We're looking for the timer until we actually pursue as a bat. So we have a spawn state. Yeah, it's got to be like a timer in here. Spawn timer. Okay, so let's say that this spawn timer is actually just a hard-coded one just so that it's fast. And then we'll test if the bat flies back in. You know, we need a trigger. Yeah, okay, so the bat flies in 1 second. So now in the flee state, we need to call this reset original position if the bat's out of bounds. So we could do an event trigger. Yeah, let's do the event trigger for this. Well, I guess it would be, you know, we'd have to dispatch an event. Yeah, maybe we don't do this. Maybe we just ask if our bat's X is smaller than 0. We have to ask if we're off in any direction, right? So if it's smaller than 0 or if it's greater than the virtual width, because depending which way he flew off. So if it's that, and if the Y is smaller than 0, or the Y is greater than the virtual height, that means the bat has flown off because we're in a flee state and its position would be that. So at that point in time, we need to then call our reset original position, and we'll see if that works. So we're looking for the bat to respawn once it flies off. We crash. Self X. It's not, it's our entity X. Oh my god. I'm bad at this. Okay, so he flies off. We need to change our state back to spawn, right? Because he might be there. He's just still in a fly state. So after we reset this original position, we need to also change him to the spawn state. Which is called bat spawn state. Bat spawn. Shit. Okay. Bat spawn right here. Okay. Now, I think in the spawn state, I think we set our X and Y based on the spawn row and call. So if he's in the spawn, I mean, we'd have to check that out too. So we have a spawn row, spawn call. So we have a set bat location. We probably need to run that. Okay. So we also need to run the method. See, this is a method on the state machine, so this is a little weird. When do we run the bat location method here? Well, if the spawn timer is smaller than or equal to 0 and our entity's location set is not true, so we need to flush that too. So in our bat flee state, we need to also set these things. So we need, you know, all of this needs self. Yeah, how do we do this? Self.entity. Okay, and then we also need to set our spawn timer to 0 and our location set to false, so that we can set its location in the spawn state. Let's see. Son of a bitch. Oh, we got one. We got one. He came out. He came out. And he's corrupted, so we need to change our animation too. Okay, I gave up. Okay, I thought I failed, but he's there. So, in our bat spawn, we either need to change to the default skin. I'm so glad he was there. I was... Okay, so there's a pursue and a flee animation, so we'll change his animation back to a flee, or back to a pursue here in the flee state. So, in our flee state, yes, we're going to reset original position, and that's also going to change the animation to pursue. So one bat should come out here. We can cleanse him. And then he's off, and then there's 1 second, and then another bat comes on. Cool. So there's forever spawning bats. Let's see if it works again. It only comes out once one's flying out. That's pretty good. Cool. Collision's a little wonky, not gonna lie. Okay. We've got bat spawns working, so now we need to be able to prevent a bat from spawning if there's an item in front of this guy's spawn hole. So as of right now, we don't have a way to, like, our bat, the closest thing we have to our game knowing where the bat hole is a spawn row and column for a bat. So we could calculate what the row and column is for an object to be in there. Yeah, let's see how we can do this. So let's first get a object in there. So we're going to insert a boulder here into the dungeon. Okay, and a boulder goes in the collidable map objects. I'm not even convinced pushing is going to work here. We're not even rendering it, so... Oh, we need to go to 411. Okay, we've got a pushable, and it's pushable, so that's good. That's really good. Now, we should be able to actually push it. Oh, wow, we can't. This is great. Our pushables are working on collidable map objects, so that's really good. Now, I guess the question is, can we push it into a chasm? Which I think we can push it over a chasm. I'm not exactly sure, but that's why we're going to test. Actually, that kind of works. Okay. No, I kind of like that You can push it on the... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, I mean, and it looks like... Oh, God. It's hard to do the spellcasting when I don't have the HUD up there for it. Okay, maybe I turn that back on. Because, I mean, I kind of like that you're able to push it on the chasm there. I guess the only difference would be if it's an open chasm, it can't exist like that, right? So okay, so one thing I don't like, well, I guess, you know, if they block themselves in like this, I kind of like that you can push the freaking boulder in there. Okay, so one thing I want to check. Oh, wow. Yeah, we need to reset pushable locations upon a scene exit. Oh my gosh. How would we reset? Do our pushables have a reset original position sort of deal? We do have an original X and Y. Okay. So let's do this and say finish shifting. And in our finish shifting, we have to cycle through. Oh, look at, oh, we do have this. We already do this. Yeah, we cycle through the map. Cycle through the collidable map objects. If the class type is that of a pushable, reset its original position. Okay. So why is that not working? How do we know if it's a type pushable when it has to be in here? Yeah, it's a type pushable. Type is type. Pushable is a type pushable, homie. Oh, class type. Yeah. If class type, okay, class type pushable. So in our finish shifting, yeah, class type pushable. Huh. Before we assign our next map. Yeah, okay. It's not working though. Yeah, not working. Let's make sure there's a reset original position in the collidable map object, because that isn't a class. It's just holding a bunch of different stuff. So do we have a reset original position? We do. If it's not a key item, then we reset it. So where do we set if it's a key item or not? We pass it in, either key item or no, after the type. Type is not used anywhere as far as I can tell, other than, oh, sets the image. Okay. So Yeah, false on a key item, and then maybe we can reset it. No. Okay, what the... Okay, so the fourth argument to a pushable is a key item. And key item is assigned to be either the parameter or nil. So when we go to reset the original position, we're asking, well, if the key item does not equal true, which nil does not equal true, then we're going to set our x and y to be our original x, original y, and those are defined based on what we init. Original x, what we pass in, is original tile x. We calculate the tile x based on the parameter here. So we say okay, so why are we not resetting the original position? Like, we're in the right scene because we're rendering it there. You know, we don't have boulder, you know, we can try putting a crate in there and seeing if the crate resets just to test something. That doesn't reset either. Okay. Oh, it's a warp zone. It's a warp zone, not a scene transition. Because look at this. If we push it and then leave, yeah, watch this. If we leave up here and come back, it resets. Okay, so we just need to reset it on a warp zone. So when we call warp zone, when we collide with the warp zone, right here. If we collide with the warp zone and we're not already warping, then we need to do that same flush here for collidable map objects. Oh, look at this. We're already cycling through. Yeah, we're resetting the treasure chest on a warp zone. Which, let's turn that off for now. But we also need to say, well, if the class type is a pushable, reset original position. Okay, that should be it. So if we push it over and then warp zone out and come back, it should be back in its old spot. Nice. Okay. Sweet. Okay, and I like this with this aspect, you know, because if we, like, you know, playing around with the idea of if it's a singular chasm, the boulder can go on top. If it's like an edge chasm, it'll have to fall. So we'd have to have a distinction there, but it gives us a little more to play with for puzzle design. So like we could, for example, put a little chasm here, and let's see what this allows us to do, because we could be able to push across. Let's try that. So now that that's here, we might want to turn up the bat for this. But this is part of the demo, or part of the dungeon, right? Where the bat's going to be interrupting you trying to maneuver these bricks. So you kind of have to get good at cleansing them. So if we imagine a level with like a line of these or something, that we can push it once and it doesn't fall, and we can push it again. Oh man, he's got all jacked up. Oh my god. And then, oh my god, he's so... Dude, he's crazy. He's crazy. Why is he going crazy? He's freaking nuts, man. He went nuts. I think the, wow. Yeah, his speed is just way too aggressive on that. But if we imagine a level where we need like a boulder to the other side, we can push it here. Dude, back off. Back off. Shit, man. Can murder me. Let's turn him off. Let's turn him off. I'm trying to test. We have to make him less erratic because that was pretty nuts. We gave them like a spectrum of craziness so that they didn't get overlaid with one another if there was more than one spawning at the same time, or so, you know, because their X and Y tracks us, they tended to blend in with one another and overlap. So let's turn them off and then we'll test. Yeah, let's turn them off. Okay, so we can imagine like a room where it would be nice to block a bat coming out of a side, but there's like there's no way to get to him, so you have to push him over. You know, I want, yeah, just like that. I want to push that over. Yes, because if we imagine in a corner, yeah, this is great. Like if there's a bat hole over here, but you can't walk over here because there's a hole. There's 3 holes over here, or an unreachable spot and then 1 hole, you know, something like that. Then you can come down here and push it into that corner and stop him from spawning. So, you know, I think the goal is, you know, it is pretty tough. So we might make the bat's cleanse on 1 spellcast hit, so that you only have to hit him once. But also we want to make it sure that like you can't just run through the level without, you know, I want to make it so that if you run through the level without pushing the bricks and protecting yourself from the bats, if you don't do that, then you're going to take damage and you're not going to live through the whole dungeon, right? So like if you do that, you like, I want to make sure you get like guaranteed damage if you speed through it, so that the average player needs to figure out the puzzle in order to figure out how to do it without taking damage. But I like that we can push it over this chasm. But what isn't good is if we have an edge. You know, if we have an edge chasm like this, we still need to make some more corresponding sprites. But just as a test, look at this. Yeah, see, like that brick should fall. That boulder should fall. Oh my god. Yeah, it shouldn't be floating there. So maybe what we can do, I think it'll be easy. Famous last words, dude. Let's look at our pushable logic. And let's see when we're doing like a finish pushing or something. Because we have a push, right? We have all this stuff, push, push, push. legal push. What are we doing here? Oh, okay, this is just for the checks. Okay, so we can prevent a push into a chasm if we wanted to, but I want them to be able to push it into the chasm and lose it. So when we're doing this push, you know, we have this, okay, well then push right. Or push, yeah, where do we do this initiated to get false? Huh. Okay, we do it after this. Okay, so in the pushable, I'm thinking, you know, I'm thinking we can say, we can do a thing where we can say, you know, after we update this thing, after all the push-ups were initiated, we can say if before we do this, we can say if any push is initiated, because look right here, we're saving the tile above us so that we can check. Or actually, we're just, tile above is going to be, yeah, the converted Y position for the tile. So we're going to see if our thing is greater than this tile above. So basically by the time we're going to flip this to false, we need to do something here like check if falling. And we can do that by seeing if the round tile ID is equal to a floor, a chasm floor, right here. So we have a tile Y. See, and what's tricky is, yeah, how are we doing? We're doing the check for a legal push, right? So like we have a legal push check. And we're pulling right here, the tile ID. Okay, so we need to snag the tile. Now where is this? This is in the legal push. Okay, so we would need to do something like this, where we need to grab the floor tile. And if the floor tile, let's do this for a push right initiated. Okay, so right here is where we would do it. We can snag the tile right away or whatever. So we're going to go into the current scenes map, global tile table. That's an 80 tile table that we split up into a row and column 2D array. So we're going to go into the tile. The tile. Because right now row call is nothing, right? Row call needs to be pulled from somewhere. And we pull it right here. Okay, so maybe we can use this. Maybe we can use legal push to also pull the tile that we just checked a legal push for. So we can have a pushable dot. I want to say, well, we need the row and column. So we can call legal push check row and column. And we can assign it to be whatever we call legal push with, because, well, let's see where we do that. When we check legal push, we're checking it. What the heck? That can't be right. Where are we checking it? We're checking it out elsewhere. Yeah, we're calling it elsewhere from the update. Where are we doing it? We're calling it in our walk state. We're calling it based on a tile X, tile Y. So basically what I'm kind of proposing is like, we have this self legal push check row. So whenever we do call this, anytime we go and we push against an object, kind of not liking this idea just because I don't know how, when we call the push check, the legal push, I'm just worried that as it's pushing, it's gonna snag the row and column for the next thing. So I just want to see when we do this again in the walk state and kind of see, you know, our player collides with the thing. Yeah, see, I'm worried that this, where do we pull the V tile X and tile Y from? It's from the collidable map objects. So in our case, the thing, the boulder or whatever. So we check it. We call the legal push method on a tile Y, tile X minus 1. Okay, so we have the tile IDs. That is the row and column we need for the check. So, yeah, so once we do this, to trigger a push left, see, do we only do this? Okay, because I think, because the tile X and tile Y don't change with an update until it's done pushing, I'm pretty sure. So if we look in our pushable, if we look at our tile X, yeah, we reset it only upon a reset original or on a legal push. We're cycling through the collidable map objects and we're checking if the tile X. Okay, so where do we assign this otherwise? We assign it here at when we're done pushing. This is perfect. So this should work. Okay, so we have a legal push check row and column that we get from our legal push. Now that is going to get not the ID, not the row and column of the collidable object we're pushing, but the one adjacent where it's going to end up, right? So if where it's going to end up is a tile ID of a chasm, we need to trigger a new animation for this crate of it falling into the chasm. And then by the time that's played out, we can remove it from the collidable map table or just stop updating it, rendering it, or that sort of thing. Okay. So we have this legal push check row call. Now this is what we need to do. Like when we do this push right initiated, we're gonna snag the tile, yeah, right here. We're gonna snag the tile of the next tile that we're about to end up at, which is this legal push check row and column. So we're gonna snag that tile. Oops, yeah. We snag the tile. Now that should have a tile ID that we can use to trigger something. So we're going to say if the tile.id is equal to whatever number equal to our chasm, then we can do something. So let's see where our chasm ID is. We're drawing it, we're using it from right here. So these are all tile ID, whatever this is, diagonal from the stairs. So let's see what that is. It's been a while since I updated this, I'll tell you that much. Okay, it's right beneath. Did we really change this? We moved it. What the heck? Okay. We scooted that one over. Okay, so it should be 47. I think it's 47. Yeah, I think it's 47. Okay, so if the push right ends and the tile ID of the next where it's ending up is a tile ID of 47, I'm just going to set our X position to be up 1 just so we can see it move. And if that's the case, then we just have to make an animation for it and trigger the animation. So let's see if we can trigger this. We're looking for it to move up once it finishes moving. It did not. So we either messed up the tile ID we could print up the tile ID let's do this snagged tile ID and we go into that location. Oopsie. Let's try this. Okay, so we'll render this out if it exists. Shit. We don't have access. Shit, man. We don't have access to this. Well, actually, it is a global. Okay, it is a global ID, so it should work, actually. Let's try this. We'll just have to make sure to not print it if it's nil. So first thing we'll do is if it does not equal nil, then we're going to print it. And actually, this should just be snag tile like this. And then when we snag it, we pull from the ID field. So we're looking for this to be 47. It should only populate if we push right. Okay. You know what? We had our tile ID in the above ground, not the ground level. So that could have been the issue. Let's go to the ground level and draw. Yeah, let's do that. Let's test that again. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so it pulls the ID of the one it's about to end. We're looking for 47 here. It is. It is 47. Okay, I didn't see us move. Oh, and then we assign tile right here. Okay, so let's do this where we say we're going to assign our tile right, but then if it's 47, we're going to move it up. This should work. We nailed it. This should be it. We're not trying to move it up, but we're trying to just detect a finished movement. Nice. Yes, so it ends up... Wow. Shit. Wow, why can't we push it? Oh, because we're not flushing the... Okay. Okay, so we don't want to do this, but this is looking right. Okay. I don't like that we'd have to do it upon any push initiation, but we kind of have to. You know, we could check if any push is initiated and snag the tile there. But then it's kind of like the same of just snagging it in every condition. It's not, I don't know. But we need to add an animation for this thing so that we can update. Now, we aren't updating the animatables for the pushables, right? Because our pushables as of right now have only been... And you know what? I'm kind of thinking, instead of rendering a whole tile sheet for this, maybe we just scale down the X factor of the draw so that it appears like it's shrinking. Right? That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at. So maybe we can try that. So like, let's say if, you know, if the tile we snag up here if the tile's ID is equal to the chasm ID, then we're going to become falling. Okay, and then now when we go to render the pushable, One thing I don't like about this approach is we would still be detecting, well, yeah, if we're still detecting a push, we can also just only detect push on a not falling crate or pushable. So this could work out. So here, you know, if we're a crate, oh my gosh. Yeah, we're gonna have to add some local scale X and Y values for this so that we can draw it. Let me pull up what arguments are. So we have draw XY, rotation, scale X, scale Y. So we need to define a scale X and Y, which I'm assuming is 1 for normal. Okay. So let's add these. You know, we'll test it for boulder first. So XY, and then a rotate, which is a 0, and then a scale X and scale Y. So we'll see if our boulder is looking normal or if it's way jacked up here. Okay, we're looking for a normal boulder. Nice. Okay, so now let's just shrink this scale. Let's just say that the scale X and scale Y get multiplied. Actually, yeah, I don't think we could do it like this. We have to kind of set this scale X minus delta time times whatever scale factor we want. Delta time is already, this would still be like a sub 1 second shrink, right? And then it would keep shrinking in the opposite direction, so it'd probably flip on us. But let's just see if we do that over time. I don't think, oh, we are updating it. Yeah, it should shrink. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it would do. Wow. Okay. That's perfect. So we're only going to do this. You know, we need to clamp this position to be a higher value. You know, 0 is going to be the highest value in there. And same thing with here. We don't want to shrink past 0, so we're going to give a math.max of 0 and scale. But then we also only want to do this if we're actually falling. Man, I might want to do Tashio like this too. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's see. If we push this into a chasm, does it become shrinking? Oh my god, why? 229? What did it not like there? Local tile, a number value on 229. Oh, we snagged the ID already, so we would just ask that. Okay, let's see if it shrinks when we push it in the chasm. Yes! It does. It does. It shrinks to the top left, so we would want the other, you know, the other offsets to maybe be half a tile size. Let's see if we do a tile size -2 on this X offset. I don't know. And we'll do this not if we're falling, just in general, so we can see what it looks like. Nice. So yeah, if we give it this second one, it should scale right in line with the center. Let's see. Nice. Okay. Now I think it is too fast, so let's just slow it down just a bit. Half the speed and we'll see. Yeah, that's too slow, but this is looking good. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, delta time might be the move here. So one thing with this approach is it's still there. It also didn't look like it shrunk in the right location. Yeah, the X offset. We might have to say... let's try to do a rectangle at this location so we can see the order rectangle. We just want this XY for the rectangle, and we want to see, you know, we're trying to scale the boulder in the center of the rectangle. Yeah, that's not right. Offset X. Origin offset. Yeah, scale XY origin offset. So yeah, we need to change the origin offset. So if we give it a tile size on the origin offset X, where does it go? Totally wrong. So do we have to do a negative tile size? That still shrinks to the top left. It's always shrinking to the top left here. K shearing factor. What is that? This is exactly what we try to do. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that shrinks it. We could do, if we're falling, we just need to shift this by 8. which is half a tile size. There we go. It's shrinking right in the middle now. Does that mean, though, does that mean we don't need these? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we do need them. Okay. Okay, so we need to render normal. Let's just do it for boulders right now. Okay, we need to render either normal or falling. So, if we're falling, then we'd render this one. Otherwise, we render the neutral boulder. Okay, so we've got this little boulder. If we push it into a chasm, it should shrink. Shit. Shit. Let's try it again. Now, right now, we only have pushing right working, and we only have a boulder working. And it's not actually deleting. Oh, that's perfect, though. It looks great. It looks great. Okay, so what we could do is when we check for collision, if our boulder is falling, we don't want to check collision. And the scale factor gets clamped, so I'm not too worried about rendering an object unnecessarily here. I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, so let's just make sure when we do, let's make sure we do in our collision detection, in our update for collidable map objects, if it's a crate and the crate is falling, then we don't detect collision for pushables. So yeah, we need to do something like that. Pushables update, wherever that is. Uh-oh. We aren't updating our pushables. I think it's... Oh, here it is. We are updating right here. Okay, so if we don't do this, does this stop moving our crate? I think it should. Yeah. Okay. So this should be pushable renders. Yeah, we got rid of our pushables and we just put it into a collidable map object. So let's get rid of that because I don't think we have a pushables table anymore. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Okay, but when we insert, we don't put them in the pushables table, right? Let me see here. If we don't render pushable, do we still render collidable map objects? Yeah, we do. Okay, so our pushables are kind of obsolete. I don't know if we're going to get rid of that. I can imagine it's nice to have a separate table of pushables, but also collidable map objects are already doing a lot of that. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Okay. If our thing's falling. Okay, so when we do this update pushables, yeah, we only want to update this if V is not falling. Now, we could ask if v.class type, because there's not many collidable map objects. If the class type is equal to a pushable, then, you know, if it's not equal to pushable, we go ahead and just render right away. But if it is equal to pushable, we only want to update, update not render only if our v falling is not true. So if not falling, go ahead, update. Otherwise, just update whatever normal pushable should be the same. So we can update our pushable, yet if we trigger it and it falls, we should not be able, oh shit, we don't update it if it's falling. So we kind of need a if not fallen, right? Because we need to update it, because we need to shrink it. But we also need to flip it. This could get messy because we could push a falling object and technically still push it while it's falling, which is not good. But actually we don't. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I basically want to say if we're falling and our self.scale x does get to 0, then we will know that we have fallen, and then we need to stop updating so that we can stop collision detection for it. So we could say self.fallen here is true, initialize to false. Let's test it out. Shit, 242. We update it, we should update it as it falls, and then it's gone. Oh, see, we're still pushing. Shit. We're still pushing. Shit. We might need to remove it. Yeah, we might need to remove it from our collidable map table. Yeah, because unless, I mean, we can go to our push and say, well, if the thing is fallen, you know, but we don't want to be in the push animation for a thing that is falling. Okay. So when we go to check for the pushing, player to pushables, yeah, here. So when we cycle through our collidable map object, we're gonna do this push test. You know, we want this only if and the V and not V dot falling. Right? Okay, it's still there though, because it's a collidable map object. Son of a biche. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back. We're doing good. We're doing good. I think I want to... When we do this collidable map object collision detection, we just need to make sure it's not falling. Right, so... We do have this collision here. Yeah, see, this isn't it. There's got to be another time where we're doing this collidable map objects collision. We do collide here. Yeah, this might be it. This is our main collision detection here for collidable map objects. Let's try doing this if not v dot falling. I don't know if that'll work. Because the issue is we still need to render it at its location, so we can't just remove it from the collidable object table. But then we need to also disable collision, so we kind of have to do something like this. Let's see, we're looking for no collision once it starts falling. Oh, nice. Yes. Yes. Okay. That's great. Okay, this is good. So we've got the ability to push a boulder or a crate over a singular chasm spot. And then look at this. If we push, yeah, that's appropriately screwed up. That's really jacked up. Oh, that hurts. That looked bad. That looked really bad. We just need to change our pushing only if our character's not falling, because I think that's what was the issue there. So look, if we go to our push, our changing to push in our walk state, we only want to do this if we're not falling. All this stuff. We are doing this if we're not player falling here. Yeah, if we're not falling, then but over here, no, I guess this. This is our player walk state, and this is colliding with collidable objects. So yeah, we want this V's falling and not player falling. That might fix the nastiness. But then we need to add, uh-oh. Let's see. It did look like it fixed it, actually. That's good. That's good. Okay, no, that's feeling much better. Okay. Okay, let's go to our pushables. Now we need to trigger a fall based on the other directions, and we've got it kind of, you know, right now we're only checking falls for boulders, which I don't like. So we need to. Why do we do this? If it's a crate, we need to get the animation because a crate can play throughout time. Okay, so we kind of need it different. Yeah, because we're not drawing a drawable, we're drawing a texture and a quad. Okay. Okay, so we at least need to become fallen if we push the other directions, right? So we could snag the tile based on any of the pushes being initiated, or we can just pull it like we're pulling it anytime any of the pushes are initiated. So I don't know, not really a big difference here, I don't think. But we snag the tile for a push, so we'll get whatever push is supposed to be activated for it. We snag that tile, and we just want to say, just like our push right, where we say, well, if the tile is 47 after that push, then we want to go ahead and just become falling. Okay. So we should have it for any push. Now, still crates. Crates are probably incorrect still. But let's see. We're looking for a push down, which we might not be able to do because there's a freaking wall there. So let's try this. So when we draw this, we have to remember chasm tiles go on the ground level. Otherwise, it will not detect the collision for the fall. But what's going on, man? Okay. That should be right. Nice, the fall works. Oh, that looks great, man. I'm so glad I thought of doing the scaling instead of the animation. That was like so much simpler. So technically, as far as the game's concerned, there is a collidable map object down there. We're just not stopping us. I mean, we're not triggering a chasm fall for us either. How are we detecting a chasm fall for this? I think, oh, you know what? Yeah, I think we're only detecting it on the edge. No, that can't be right, because the edge doesn't stretch that far. Yeah, how are we not falling in the edge? Let's see. Are we doing anything different up here? What the heck? I did not know you could do that, Chunk. Yeah, see, what is the tile that we're drawing right here? Oh. They're very specific edge pieces. Okay. This is not good. This is not good. Wherever we're doing this edge detection to trigger a fall for our player, we need to redo these tiles so that the entirety, well, we could redo these. Oh man. Yeah, I don't want to lock us into only having one tile of type to trigger a fall. It'd be nice if the boulder or crate could fall in an edge piece like this, as opposed to the edge piece being part of this main tile here. And the pathway looks better when it's that wide too. So let's find where we're triggering the falls for our player on the edge pieces, and we need to either rewrite our, oh look at Jimmy. We need to either rewrite our, he's just walking in his water bowl. Shoot. We need to either rewrite the collision for our fall detection so that it accepts multiple tiles. But we also need to add I don't know how to do it. I don't know how we're triggering the falls. Let's make sure we're triggering the falls. I think we are for... We have to have some sort of fall chasm thing baked with some... We have to be doing this somewhere. Chasm falling. Where do we do it? Chasm, chasm, chasm. Where are we doing this? Chasm, bottom, collide. Chasm, bottom, collide. Where are we doing that? Player to chasm collision in the map. Okay. So we need to add it. How are we adding it to the dot chasms? What the heck are we doing? Well, okay, our chasms are 13 to 22, so we need to change, yeah, we need to change this. 13 to 22, we need a lot more than this. So, it looks like it starts here. So 13 to 22, yeah, it looks like it starts here. We need to kind of scoot all these over. Yeah, I kind of want the chasm to be like that first one and then scoot everything down. So 13 to 22, we did give ourselves out a couple more layers, so that's actually pretty good. But we'll have to redraw. I mean, that other dungeon's unreachable, so that's okay. But we need to adjust our master sheet here and our tiled global map export with these need to be scooted down. There is our chasm, just total black chasm. So if we export this as, actually just save. We saved it as a master sheet. It'll ruin our other dungeon, but that's okay. We're not even doing that. Now we should fall in the chasm. Son of a beach. We did not export a global map with this drawn with the new location. So let's do that. We need this. We need to go to the ground level layer. We need to draw the floor chasm, which that looks wrong, but it's just because it's loading the old tile sheet. We need to export it as a global map. Then we should have collision on our player to a pure black collision. Shit. Thought it'd work. It rendered it fine. I thought that'd work, to be honest. It might not be... What, that might not be tile 13. Uh-oh. Yeah, 13 starts. Shit. That's totally wrong. It should start at 14. Right? Three, 6, 9, 12, 13. Yeah, 14, 15. It should go 15 and onwards. Oh, it's in the above ground. Shit. Chasms should not be in the above ground, right? Shit. Why is it in the above ground chasm? Well, we have a tiled map here in map declarations, so we should... I don't think I want to do this in the above ground tiled map. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense it's in the above ground tiled map. I think it should just be in the tiled map. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Above ground tile IDs. Oh man, I'm pretty sure I screwed the shit out of this. We're going to insert a chasm into the chasm table for the global scene based on the tiled map, not the above ground tiled map. That should be right. We insert into the tile IDs folder table. I don't think that's right. It's just called... What? Tile IDs? We don't have a tile IDs? We just have a... No way we don't have this. Tiles. Tiles. It's just tiles. Doesn't like this. It does not like this. Bad argument 1. I don't like the idea of tile. I mean, you know what? Oh, shit. Okay, let's try this again. when we do our pushables, you know what? It does make sense for chasms to be on its own layer. So above ground layer does kind of make sense for it. So yeah, let's not grab it from the tiles. We'll grab it from the above ground tile table. I think the indexes are wrong. Shit, man. Okay, so I think this makes sense. But we need to render them not at the ground level, but the above ground. So yeah, our other tiles are there too, so I guess it does make sense. So ground level here. Ooh, we're gonna just render whatever floor. Then above that, we're gonna render this guy. Now that's in the above ground layer. That's where the tile detection is for the chasms. So we'll save this as a global map and try. We're looking for two things here. We're looking for our player to fall in the black hole that's conjoined here, which it does. Now look at, if we pull it slightly wrong. Okay, so I'm okay with this. Okay, and then we're also looking for a push animation to still be working, for a fall for a pushable object. Shit. Okay, so collidable objects not falling anymore. Should be an easy fix because we're going to the above ground tiles. Yeah, we should be doing a falling based on... Is that what it's called? Above ground tiles, yeah. Yeah. Above ground tiles, yeah. Oh, it's a different... We changed it. It's now... Shit. We've got to recalculate our drawable. So look, if we go into our graphics folder, we have a little Python script that we want to run. It's called drawnumspy. So okay, so that should have drawn us a new tiled image. Yes, with all of our new images here. Okay, so our new floor is 17, not 47. So we need to go, whoa, why is 48 and 49 transparent like that? Oh, that's our lava. Okay. I already forgot the number. It's a 17, not a 47. Okay. So you know what we'll do? 17, I said? 17? We'll change this 47 to be chasm ID, chasm square chasm ID. Now this isn't defined anywhere. It doesn't even crash. Square chasm ID, constants, square chasm ID, is now 17. Okay, so now the boulder should fall, should trigger the falling animation when we push it in here. Yes. Okay, cool. And we fall too. Okay, great. Okay. Nice. If we leave, it'll reset. No, it doesn't. Our reset needs to account for fallen and falling. So when we do this, both in warp zone, I'm curious if it loads it upon a scene transition and not a warp. So we'll test the scene transition first. Because like if we push it there, we leave and come back, it resets. But if we make it fall, then do a scene transition and come back, it's gone there too. Okay. So if we look at our finish shifting, we should find where we're doing the resets. It's a reset original position on a collidable map object. And the object itself is a pushable, so it should be here, reset original position. We need to reset both our falling to false as well as fallen. But then we also need to do this upon a warp zone. So we kind of do it. What do we do it? Warp zones right here. Reset entities upon warp. We need to reset the collidable map objects upon warp, like right here. If it's a pushable, oh, we have it in the method, so that's great. So it should work now. Should be reset. So let's test it. We'll test it for both a scene transition and a warp zone. Yes, it does reset. Okay, let's test it for a warp zone too. Oh, what the? What happened there with the falling? We need to reset our scale factor for drawing because it'll work here. I think it'll work the very first time we do it, but doesn't work subsequent times because we're not resetting our scale factor back to 1. So our scale X and our scale Y. Yeah, so it works the first time. So our reset original position in our pushable method here. Reset original position. We need to also reset our scale factor. And then it should work. We still need green tunic pushing too as well, I think. Cool, then we just have to worry about the trigger for the bats. Yes. So it looks like it's getting reset proper now. Cool. That's great. Jimmy, what are you doing? Okay, this is great. I'm not sold on the range of chasm tile IDs being correct. Let's double check that with our tiled numbered photo. Okay, so it looks like it starts at 15 and right now goes to 21. We need more though, so it'll probably be up to 28. So let's do 15 to 28. I think it's on 13, which is wrong. I want to say it was 13. Where did we do it? Where did we do it? It was in the data downloader maybe when we're checking the values. So that would be in our map declarations. Yeah, okay, so we just changed it. It was 13. We changed it to 15. Yeah, we'll go from 15 to... Let's just go to 28. Okay, so we've got more because we need the corner pieces for the chasms, and then the next thing we have to do is trigger a bat's not respawn, right? So like, let's look at our bat respawn. So how the bat respawns work is in a flee state, you know, once we cleanse them, and then they're no longer corrupted, they fly out, and then once they're off screen, they go ahead and reset their position. So if we look at when we call the reset original position, we only do it here. So we need to say like, yeah, because this is like, we have to, we want to do this if this particular bat entity is not blocked. So like, basically we have an original position, like we know where our guy comes in from. Gosh, where is it? Wow, we don't even have it here. It's this, what, set location? It's part of our entity, not our walk state. But basically we need to pull whatever we define this map declarations. We have this bat instantiation right here, spawn row, spawn call on our entity. So in our flee state, we basically need to check. We need to loop through the current scene's collidable map objects, aka pushables, and we need to see if a collidable map object is blocking this bat's flee state technically, because that's when we're triggering a new one to come in once the old one is done. Whether or not the new one spawns, it's basically just resetting its position. So it's not like You know, it's the same entity over and over. It's not new ones. But we're not going to reset this entity's position if there's a pushable blocking it. So when we insert a pushable, it's hard to say. Yeah, we'd have to cycle through, make sure we're only cycling through the pushables. Then the pushable has an X and a Y and a width and a height. So we need to just check, you know, since our bat has this thing called a spawn row, spawn column. If our column is 1, we know our bat comes from the left because column is 1. So that means if there's a collidable map object, if there's a pushable object in column 2, then we know the bat can't spawn. So the bat would be blocked at that point. So it's kind of weird because this is only in the flee state, but it kind of makes sense because we only check if we need to respawn if the bat's fully fleed off screen, right? So let's try this. Let's try it for the top one first, right? So we want this self blocked to be initialized false. We don't start off blocked. But yeah, before we do this, you know, we would, if we have flight off, then we need to loop through. We would cycle through the pairs of our collidable map objects, which is our current map, collidable map objects. Now we only want to check the pushables. So if the class type is pushable, then we want to check if it's blocking. So we'll check if our self dot spawn row is equal to 1. That's a top bat, which is our example. So if our spawn 1 is 1, then if the v dot y is equal to a tile size, meaning it's on the second row, then we are indeed blocked. What are we missing here? Okay, let's try this. Let's print up. It's gonna be tough to print this up because it's part of the flee state. But no, we can print it up just here. When the bat's fleeing, we just say, you know what? Whether or not you're blocked, it's gonna be right here. ToString self-blocked. Okay, now that should only populate, and actually this is blocked as true. And the break would break out of this for loop. So if we find any block, we're blocked. And then we would need blocked to get reset. See, but this is in our... Yeah, we need to become unblocked too, right? Which is a little harder. But let's see if this works. Let's see if we can become blocked. So, we just need to first test. Well, we need our bat back. So, put our bat back on here. Dungeon 1, Bat 1, let's test. So he'll spawn in 1 second. We've got to kind of cleanse him. Okay, so blocked is false. So now I'm going to leave this here. That should be blocked. So let's see what happens. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Shit, shit, shit. Blocked is still false. Okay. So the X or the Y position isn't a good enough trigger for this. So this is in the bat flee state. You know, if the Y is equal to... Yeah, okay. So if, yeah, we cycle through collidable map objects if it's a pushable. Okay, so let's just try to say, let's say we have a box, a global box Y, and we're just gonna say it gets assigned to be whatever the VY is, and box Y is 0 at first, and we update box Y. Yeah, we want to say box Y gets VY at any point in time. Let's do it, yeah, in a flee state update. Okay. So let's see if our VY is 16 or anything like that in a flee state. Dude, these guys are gnarly. Okay, we should be printing... We need to print box Y. We're looking for a Y of 16 to see if that would have worked. Huh, 0. Okay, well. So either we're not cycling through this correctly, or our class type is wrong, or we don't have access to spawn row in our bat flee state. Oh, you know what? Spawn row is actually part of our entity. Okay, so let's just print up. Let's say now what's tough, is I think what I want to try to do is just pull out the global value of this box. So we're going to cycle through our table. If we find any box, we're going to say that this box Y is going to be this v.y, and then we'll print up this v.y, this box Y. Just make sure it's updating, because if that's not the case, then we're doing it wrong. Okay, we should see it, but it's only in a flee state, which sucks. Okay, it is. Okay, so blocked might work now. Oh, shit, he's going crazy. Shit. He needs to slow down. That's nuts. Okay, there. So blocked is true. He's blocked by this. So he's still in the flee state. He's blocked, But if we move this, it'll become blocked false, and then shit. Maybe not. Well, we're only doing Y check. So he would be blocked if we have Y anywhere. So we just need to become blocked. Yeah. We need to become blocked if the V is the tile size here, but also the X, the V dot X would have to be equal to the self dot entities spawn call times 16. But yeah, so if the bat spawns on the first column, then the Y would need to be 0. So we need to subtract a 16 for the offset after we multiply the column. So now it should only become blocked. Well, we have blocked getting true. We do not have blocked getting reflushed to false. So we break here, but if not, we need to become unblocked and also break. This only works for one, though. I think this only works for one bat hole. But let's see. We should not become blocked here. Okay, until we push it here. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, now, once we do it, we're looking for... Oh, my God. He's crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, see, it should be true here. Oh, it is true. Once he flies off, it's true. Okay, so now the moment of truth. So if it's blocked, he won't fly out. But if we push it, yeah, if we push it over here, he's not blocked and he can come out. So that's cool. Okay, like, I guess I'm just like a little underwhelmed at how the blocking looks, because like you would think yeah, because it's not very apparent that boulder being there would block him from flying out. So I think that's the only thing I don't really like, is that it doesn't look like it would block him. Because if we were there, you know, we have different collisions, so we go a little higher. So like if the brick would be pushed up that close, which we don't have that ability to, you know, the sides might look, sides are gonna look weird too. I mean, it's cool as a mechanic, so I think we will leave it. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't sell, it doesn't read that great to me. But another thing is, we're only triggering this upon a flee state and not upon a spawn state. Because if we're still in the spawn timer, but we're blocked, we shouldn't come out. Because if the player has this idea and puts it and blocks the hole, but the bat was in a spawn state waiting for its spawn timer to hit before it comes out, they could get turned off and think that doesn't block the hole or something. I don't know. So I think we'd want to do this whole block. Yeah, basically if it's blocked, we just need to not increment the spaced timer, the spawn timer. So we would do something like this too, but in the spawn state. So bat spawn state. After we set our location, then we're gonna check collision for our collidable map objects. And if any pushable is in, and this, you know, so far we only have spawn row 1 values, but this would become blocked. Yeah, so we need a self-blocked in our spawn state now. And then if there is, at least for this current one, right on top, if the Y position of the collidable map object is right beneath the spawn zone point, we're blocked, so we break. Else, we're blocked no longer. So we just need to do this bat spawn timer. We need to do this bat spawn timer only if we're not blocked. So if not, self.blocked, then we're gonna do the spawn timer. Now I think it's only a 1 second thing, but there's one puzzle I have in mind where you have to block him. Like if you block him before he comes out, it's gonna help you because the others spawn so fast and you don't want 4 of them on you or whatever. So we're gonna try to do this and say, let's print up our spawn timer, increase the spawn timer init so that we can block it and make sure the spawn timer stops incrementing. Okay, so here's the spawn timer. We'll put it at a 0, and then we'll increase the spawn. What do we do it? Spawn. Oh, we decrement our spawn timer. Yeah, we decrement it. Okay, so when we initialize it, spawn timer is a math random 1. Let's give us 5 seconds or more. So it should be a decrementing number, and we want it to stop decrementing if we block it. So, oh my god, it's too fast. It's too fast. Yeah, hopefully if we block the hull, it stops decrementing, and then if we unblock it, it starts okay, cool. So now he will come out, and then he will respawn unless it's blocked. So that's cool. We have to add the tests for the other sides, because this is just this one. It doesn't really matter if we render it right now, but if we give it specific tests for column of 1, that would be a left entrance. Column of 10 would be a right entrance. Row of 8 would be a bottom entrance. So he does kind of come in, do his thing after the spawn time. Okay. We're almost done. We're almost done. This is huge. You know, we got a lot of stuff done today, which is really good for the dungeon. So that's really good. Oh my gosh. Well, there is a ad coming up. I just need to take a little break. So I'll wait till the ads start and then I'll take a 5. Oh, nice. I've been needing a break. Okay. So once ads kick on, I'll take a little break here. And then so the goal is we need to write both for our flee state and our spawn state the decrementation and the prevention of the spawn based on a hole blocking for a collidable object that's a pushable. So as long as we can mimic, you know, the other sides, we just have to give it the correct code for whatever side, right? So if it's a spawn row, that's a top trigger. So the VY and VX checks here for the conditional is how we're determining whether or not we're blocked. So we just need to do that for a left entrance, right entrance, and bottom entrance. And then we're good on all fronts for any level design for bats and them being blocked by pushables, which we also need to start testing crates as pushables into chasm objects. Okay. So yeah, the next thing, I'm almost done. I'm gotta pass out. But yeah, we're gonna do the math for the other spawn points. we should probably test them. And then hopefully get crates falling. That would be a huge success if we can get then that stuff, because that's the two mechanics. That's basically the only two mechanics that there are in this dungeon. Yeah, those are the only two mechanics in this dungeon, is pushing crates, falling crates, and blocking bat holes. Gotta be a better word than bat holes. Okay. Okay, let's check. See, here are the checks. So here there's a bat row 1 or a bat row 8. So let's just leave. You know, we have a bat column 10. And a bat column 1. Okay, so we want to do something similar. So if okay. If we're at a bottom entrance, that means our row is 8. So our Y would have to be tile size times 8. No. So this is the collidable map object. So 7 tile size times 7 gives us a Y position of, yeah, it would be off screen. So I feel like this would be times 6. So if we look at the map, we're trying to find the Y of the screen above us. So here would be tile size 1 would be right here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Tile size times 6 would be a Y of a collidable object blocking a bottom entrance. And that's what we have, tile size times 6. Okay, and also the column would have to be whatever column minus the 16 offset. That looks right. So if that's the case, we do this where we say, okay, well, we know that's a block, so let's break, and then we'll not be blocked if... Oh, this might be wrong though. I think we need to not, yeah, we need to not be... No, this might work. This might work. Because yeah, if we're only going to hit one of these if conditions on any given bat. You know, we're either we're going to have only one of these conditions be true. Then we just ask if the Y position of any pushable collidable map object is there. If so, then we're blocked. That should work. That should work. So if our spawn column is 10, that's a right side entrance. That would mean our Y would have to be equal to our entity's spawn row times a tile size minus a tile size. And our y would, or our x would have to be equal to, this is where we would say, if it's a right side entrance, then the total amount of tiles on the right side are 8. If we draw it at a tile size times 8, it'd be off screen. Times 7 would be the wall. Times 6 would be... Is that right? 10, 9, 8, 8, 7, 6. No, 10. There's 10 columns wide. So it would be 8. Tile size times 8. And this is just in the spawn state. Yeah, we're gonna have to test this because I'm not gonna trust I'm doing this right. Okay, one more to go. Okay, if it's a left side entrance, our bat spawn column is 1. Now we know a collidable map object is blocking it if the Y position is equal to the spawn row times tile size and the X is equal to a tile size. 1 pixel from, 1 whole tile from the left. Then we're blocked. Okay. So, I think all we need to do is place a bat in a very specific side to test and push a collidable object in a very specific location to test and make sure we block it. Yeah. So, are we printing if it's blocked? I think we used to in the spawn state. We'll know if it's blocked if the spawn timer stops decrementing. So let's go to our declarations and this dungeon 1 we will give a bat. Let's put him at, we've tested top, which is spawn row 1 and 3, but now we need to test coming from the right side. So if the row's equal to 10, and the column's equal to 1, we'll put them in the very top right. That means we need to change our tiled so that we can actually reach up there. So we'll just make sure that we don't have above ground tiles. Okay, so we're looking for a spawn timer to cease decrementing once we push it in the very top right, because it should block that bat. Let's see. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. So we did not do that right. Either, oh, you know what? We might have put him in the wrong spot. Yeah, because the row column would actually be 2 and the row would be 10, because he's not spawning in the top corner where 1 is, he's going the second row. So let's see if we stop the spawn timer. Fuck. Let's make sure he comes out where we think he is. Uh-oh. What just happened? Well, that's not right. Spawn column. Oh, I got these switched. Column 2, row 10. Column 10, row 2. That should be it. Nice. Okay, we do block him. So if we were to not block him, he should fly out from that top right corner here. So let's just see that. Great. Yeah, and not in a bad hole, right? We just didn't do that yet. But that's great. So now let's try a row of 1. Let's try a row of 2, but a column of 1 for a left side entrance. And we'll see if we can block a left side entrance. Nice. Now, just to try, let's try column 2, just because we want to make sure it works on other layers, not just the very top one. So we want to make sure that we would block them on this level too. See, that's not working. But if we do this, it still doesn't work. Okay, so it's a row of 2, a column of 1. What the? We changed it to lowercase? How do we do that? Okay, column 2, row 3 actually is what we want to check. Okay, so yeah, we're trying to block it if we push it left from here. Shit. Why is that wrong? A left side entrance. We're checking the Y if it's equal to Vx would have to be equal to tile size. That looks right. But then the pushables Y would have to be equal to whatever spawn row we're at times tile size minus the tile size. Yeah. And that would be a column 1. Yeah. So column needs to be 1 for a left side entrance. Okay, so let's test row 3 now that we fixed the column 1. And we stop, correct. And we increase if we unblock. So that's looking right. Sweet. We've got 2 more. Actually, we've only got down to check left. So let's do that. Yeah, we've only got down to check. Okay, so spawn row would have to be 8. And then let's test column 2, which would be the bottom left. And actually, let's do it column 3 so that we can test unblocking it too, in case we did it right. So it should be right where the door is, right in front of the door should be the block. And we stop decrementing right there. And if we push it from there, we start. Okay, cool. So the block is working for all directions in the spawn state, but we still need it for the flee state. Okay, and then we basically become blocked. This is all the same stuff. we just need it from the spawn state. Yeah, if it's a pushable. Oh, what did we mess up? This one's harder to test because this is triggered only when they're fleeing. Oh. Okay, basically, this is just for the respawn. So, if we wait till it spawns, then we push this to block it, then we kill him, then we should see the decrement not come down here. So, we push that there to block him. We're gonna get our ass royally handed to us here. Okay, see, it should be blocked. Okay, it is blocked, true, because we're not decrementing. If we were to unblock it, it starts counting again, and then that'll make him come out of the hole. So that looks right. We didn't test the left and right side. We probably should. But since it's the same exact code, I think we're okay. We need to trigger a fall if it's a crate as well. So we need to do that. I think right now it'll just render it and then become fall and lose collision detection, but it'll still render as a crate. So let's just try that real quick. I don't think it'll be hard. Oh no. Declarations. We'll go to Dungeon 1. We'll make our boulder a crate instead. And we'll just test and see that a crate... I don't think a crate will fall, but I think it will stop being collidable. Yeah. Yes. See how we just walk right over it, but it still renders. So that's what I expected. So that means it's probably an easy fix because it's in our pushable. We just need to do our downscaling for our crate if it is falling. So we should go to pushable. Now here, if it's a type boulder, we're doing a falling if it's... Okay, so we snag an animation. If we're not falling, we render just the normal animation. But if we are falling, we need to render the animation at the current frame at the correct X location, which we shift it by half a tile size. on both the Y and the X because we scale it. We give it a 0 on the rotation. We draw it at a scale X. And then we offset by half a tile so it shrinks in the middle. Now, hopefully the crate can fall. Oh my gosh, it looks sick. It looked awesome. So what's cool is like the crate doesn't fall if it's on top of a pit here. It can be pushed on top of a pit like that. And it looks right. Like it looks like it should be able to be pushed on top of that because it's bigger. The base is bigger than the hole, so that looks right. But let's just test a down collision for the push here. And then I'll test one more thing. So we push that, it falls. That looks awesome. It does look different than our handmade code, right? Because you can see it's kind of digital downscaling as opposed to our hand-drawn Tashio fall. You can tell it's not downscaling it because you can just tell. But I think it just runs at a different frame rate where you can just really tell that it downscales it digitally, not hand-drawn art. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't really want to worry about an animation cycle for it. I am curious if we fall and break it like at the same time, what that would look like, but that would be tough to test. So if we're like about to break it, right? Okay, it's about to break. Well, we didn't quite pull it off. It's really tough to do that. I don't think it'll be that issue. That's huge though. So that gives us the foundation to build this whole first dungeon. Right, so we've got 6 scenes. I'll walk through my kind of vision for it. Let's just turn off the bat in Dungeon 1. Okay, so here's my idea. We have now where you can push a pushable in front of a bat hole and it'll stop them from flying out. I'm not sure how readable it is that would block them from flying out, but that is how it works. So part of the puzzle is like trying to figure that out, because you can get away with not blocking the bats. It's just that it starts you off easy, right? It'll start you off here and there will be one bat hole and it's gonna be a bat flying in from up here. And if you just make a beeline, the bat will spawn like right away. But if you just make a beeline over here, the bat might shoot you once, or you'll probably just be able to just beeline it and get over there, which is fine. You don't have to kill the bat there, but I want to leave a boulder, not a crate. I want to leave a boulder in this room with one bat coming out, just as a way to be like, hey, in this dungeon, there's a boulder and there's a bat hole. Like, what things can you do? You can push the boulder into a hole. You can push the boulder on top of a singular chasm. So those are 2 things. A third thing is you can push it over a chasm without falling in. So you can push it directly over a singular chasm. So that's cool. So that's one dungeon scene, one room that can communicate 3 different things you can do in this dungeon. You can push crates, you can block bat holes, you can push crates into falling holes, you can push crates onto singular collidable chasms, and you can also break crates You know, maybe I'll put one crate and one boulder so that you can see that your magic breaks one and it doesn't break the other. Because over here, it'll get harder, right? There'll be, maybe there's 2 bat holes and there's a longer path to get to this side. So you're going to have to fend off some bats. So like maybe the bats are on this side. So by the time you walk over this way, they're going to be coming at you this way. So ideally you come in here and block them so that they don't come after you. And then if you block them, because basically I'm trying to prevent, I don't want the player to just run through, because technically the bats aren't guaranteed to hit you in a certain amount of time. So if there is 2 bats here and they spawn right away, they'll start chasing you and they'll come up to you. And I just need to make sure that they become in your line of walking, so that if you do try to walk past them, you'll bump into them and take some damage, and they'll probably end up shooting you and you'll take some damage. So if that's the second room, then we can kind of have, you know, I kind of want like this part will be empty, but this part will be ground, and there'll be a boulder right here for you to push and block this one. It's kind of like inviting you to do it right there, just so that you can see. If you block it, then you cleanse them. Only the one that you didn't block, it'll come out. So that's kind of like a, if you didn't explore in the first room, you can see that there's a boulder right here, right next to a bat hole, and if you push it, it'll block the bat hole, and then if it's just up for you to notice, because once it's in a corner, you can't push a boulder out of the corner, because you have to, it's just stuck in the corner, which is fine. But I'm hoping to illustrate that once it's in the corner there, that bat won't spawn, and then you just have one to worry about while you navigate over here and come this way. You know, if this is all chasm, then this room, you know, this is where I'm hoping you can't really, because in here, this is where the treasure chest is going to be. It's like halfway through the dungeon. So I think in the treasure chest, yeah, and you know what? I think we add, I would like to give, because in order to push an object, you have to equip your green tunic. So if you equip your green tunic, now you can actually push pushable objects, which will allow you to get here. So we can't make it totally necessary to push. So I think instead of 2 bats on this one, I think we put a boulder here, a bat hole on the right side here, so that if you walk in and push the boulder in front of the bat hole fast enough, because the bat will only spawn in the first like 2 seconds or so. If you push it right there, then the bat won't spawn. But if you walk in here and don't push it there, the bat will come out. And that's just like a, hey, you know, if you pay attention and you push that thing, you'll see that a bat doesn't fly out of there and doesn't attack you. And then over here, this room would be the shortcut. You know, if you walk straight down right away, then you come in here and you get the tunic that allows you to push things. Then we can have a couple of things in here for you to push and mess around with. And then the last 2 here will be more time sensitive stuff with more challenges with the bats. So like, you know, the whole might be, oh my gosh, we're not doing the old rendering here, are we? We're doing the old rendering here. We need to fix this. Yeah, we're doing the old side rendering here. The classic Game Boy arcade style of teaching. What, you just die a billion times? Yeah, No, that's what I'm going for the last 2 holes. So the last 2 rooms in the dungeon, you're not going to get through unless you block the hole, because there's going to be 4 bats coming at you, and there's no way you're going to navigate. Because like the good thing, or the tricky thing, is that the bat spitballs do knock back on you. So if the walkway is only 1 tile wide, if you get shot, not only are you taking half a heart damage from the shot, but you're taking half a heart damage from falling. So that's a whole heart right there from any bat attack, and that's not counting you walking into them, because they're going to be following you and in your line of path, but also them attacking you. So like one of these rooms, I'm probably this room, I'm going to have a door at the top up here, and the idea is there's going to be a crate right up here, and at the beginning there's going to be crates in the first room, and if you break them, you can get coins or hearts in the first room. But if you break it in this room, there's only going to be a coin in there. But if you break it for the coin, you can't use it to block the hole. So you have to exercise restraint in both getting money, but also not getting trapped by the bat. So like if you're going to attack the bat with your spell, but you're right next to the crate, your spell could break the crate, making the level impossible to beat, because you broke the crate, and then you can't block the hole, and then you're just not going to get, you're going to get destroyed by the bat. So I think that's what I want. One of these, I think these last 2 rooms are exactly that, Squinch, which is, it's impossible if you don't actually block the hole. So one's going to be, you push it over a hole, you push it over, you push a boulder over a singular chasm hole in order to block one of these guys, and then you block another with a breakable crate, and then you just have to fight off the last one with your spell cast in order to live long enough to get over here. And then this room will be another similar thing, where there's probably going to be 4 bats, and then 2 are you have to block them, and then 2 are you have to fight them off without dying and navigating through here. And then you come out here, we'll add the warp zone to get you over here to the other, it'll pop us out either in the ice land, but basically it's going to pop you out. Then you're going to be in the overworld, and you can use the green tunic to now push a boulder out of the way, a key item boulder that'll stay positioned out of the way, so you don't have to keep pushing it, but you'll unlock that shortcut so that you don't have to go through this dungeon again to get to this ice world or whatever. But another thing I still have to add is all the mineral deposits in the dungeons. So the mineral deposits are the raw materials, or what you give to the refinery to power up your elements, either to a level 2, which makes more spell elements surrounding you, making it easier to defend, or making it stronger knockback or damage. I haven't decided what that's going to look like yet, but I think that's a great outline for this first dungeon. And I think I don't want it to be too annoying, so we might make the bats die to 1 spell hit. Maybe the bats in the last level take 2 spell hits, so it's tougher. But I don't want it to be absurdly tough, because you only have 3 hearts, which is potentially 6 hits of damage, but potentially only 3 hits of damage if your spitball from a bat knocks you into a pit. So I don't want it to be super hard, but I do want it to be, you got to have some skill, it's not going to be a gimme. And then the tome will be out here in the ice level. Once you come out here, we'll add the warp zone. You'll come out to the ice overworld with some particle system snow, and then you'll explore a little further, push a couple of things around with your new skill, and then unlock a treasure chest with the tome in it. I do still want to do a thing closer to the beginning of the game where a treasure chest is blocked by a log, and you can't push it until you realize, once you get far enough into this dungeon and you realize you get a tunic that lets you push things, that you can go back there and push it and get it. But that's a good outline for this first dungeon here. I think that's good. We still have to make the sprites for the corner pieces here, and our tunic is not rendering on a fall. So our tunic is rendering the right frame, but not in the right animation. So we need to do that. And also, oh man, our tween, it looks bad with the tunic equipped. That looks really bad. What just happened there? Yeah, the tween looked really bad there. Oh, it looks really bad. Look at how jacked up it is. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. That's not gonna be fun. It's okay. Yeah, I think after the demo, I think I'm gonna be switching. Oh, he looks like he's got a little tail there almost. After the demo, I think I'm gonna be switching all the rendering for the costumes to be a shader. And then, because I don't want to have to do 4 different tunic renderings for 4 different animation style for the death, for the chasm fall, for the dying on land, for the chasm falling spinning animation. I just want to be able to say, here's what his clothes look like, pick the appropriate shader, render his clothes. So I'm not going to figure that out for the demo. We are in a crunch, but I'm feeling so much better about it now because I was most worried about this dungeon level design, and I feel like I've got a really good idea for what to do. So tomorrow we're going to start building out the level and testing these theories and building out the 6 panels of dungeon, and then we'll go from there. It's feeling good to me though. I think I've got a great idea for what to do for it. So not great as in it's totally great, but like as far as what I want it to be, I think we've got a good enough kind of idea for the stuff here. So I like it. Yeah, we need to get rid of these magic bags. We don't have anything for the magic bags. I want that to be like a bag of seed for once you start cleansing the biomes and stuff, you can start feeding the birds and stuff, but that we don't have that for the demo. So yeah, we still need to add the vibrancy depletion for the elements. We still need to add the mineral deposits for here in the dungeon, because I don't want to make it where you make your way through the dungeon and then there's no reason to ever go back in the dungeon. So dungeons are going to be where you get the different mineral deposits for upgrading your elements. So different dungeons have different resources, right? So they'll also be on like a little refresh timer, so you can't just farm one screen over and over, but they'll be on a little timer. Okay, it's coming together. Today was a really good productive day for that stuff. So Okay, so basically the big things we did today was we added falling for the chasms, for the full square chasms. We added falling for both a boulder pushable and a crate pushable inside a chasm. And then we also added a big feature of blocking a bat hole with a pushable object. So they won't spawn if by the time they're cleansed they fly off, and their home hole is blocked, they won't respawn. Or if their home is blocked before their spawn timer finishes, they'll also be blocked. So those are the two big things we added today, and that makes designing designing the dungeon a lot more possible. So I'm happy with that. I think that's great. And then we'll get commit here. Yeah, I'll say falling pushables in chasms. Sweet. That's huge. Those two things were kind of stressing me out about this, so I'm glad we just knocked them out. That's really cool. And then I want to see what's left for. We've got a lot of stuff left, man. We've got a lot of stuff still going. So here, this is where we're at designing the dungeon. This is actually 8 scenes. I've got the idea for it, and we've got the mechanics for it, so it should go fairly fast. It'll just be a little bit of testing and stuff. The bat logic for their zigzag and their speed needs to be tweaked, because they can go, they're like they just go crazy sometimes if they're on the upper end of that random. So I think I want to normalize that a bit and make sure it works on the mobile deployment, because I can't get their wiggling to work at 30 FPS. So we're not scaling the oscillating function quite right for the mobile deployment. So I want to fix that. I'll probably fix that off stream, because I've got to test it on the phone and everything. But once we get the 6 scenes of a dungeon done, we need to add a couple new sprites, which won't be hard. You know, we need the corner sprites for the chasm edge pieces. And then what's the next hardest thing after that? We probably need to build the refinery and the new character to go in the refinery. And mineral deposits to put in the dungeon. So we'll probably go finish the dungeon, add the warp zone, add the mineral deposits, which are just going to be a collidable map object that when you hit with your spell, just like a crate, when you hit a crate with your spell, it can break down into a coin. A mineral deposit can break down into a mineral. So it shouldn't be too hard to add those little things. And then the hard thing is going to be to keep track of when it was last harvested or whatever, and try to do a reset for it. So we might have, I think in our mineral deposit class, we'll have a time harvested or something, and then we can have like a global time counter. And see, and then I'm trying to think, because it's like I don't want people to game it either and just be able to like meditate, quit the game and reload it and just harvest and farm the stuff. But it might have to be that, because I'm not, you know, if they really want to farm it, whatever, go ahead and farm it. It won't be too expensive to get the element upgrades, but it would be nice if the dedicated people could go and do, you know, save up 25 sapphire elements to upgrade Flamma in the refinery for the demo. So we have the ability to change the spellcast amount. So all we would have to do is just add a little dialogue option, a little inventory render to decrement your your mineral deposit inventory and exchange for an upgraded element. So that could be nice to have at least one upgrade in the game. Might as well do two because we have the code for it. So we might do that for Flamma, where you can kind of max out Flamma to your 3 spell max if you wanted to go into the dungeon and mine some ore. Ideally, we would spread it out more, where you'd only get 1 piece of sapphire, 1 piece of emerald, 1 piece of whatever in a given dungeon, so that you can't just farm one item over and over and over, but you have to kind of go explore. And maybe we do it, maybe we can do it based on a scene transition count. So maybe we do it where every time you scene transition, your harvested mineral deposits scene counter goes up, and anytime you've gone through 6 scenes or whatever, it resets the mineral deposit and you can harvest it again. That might be the best way, because then it's not based on a timer. They can't really reset, you can't really hack it by doing a save file and resetting your time and doing something like that. You just have to do it on scene transitions. I guess if they know that they could just go back and forth real quick and just reload all the mineral deposits. Yeah. I'll try to think of. Hey, Dark Side of Yogurt, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the prime. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. I am going to be calling it here, but yeah, it's fun to think about this stuff. Yo, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. We're in a good spot. We've got 3 weeks to finish the demo. The 2 stuff I was really worried about, we just knocked out tonight, so I'm happy with that. So moving forward, yeah, we'll make the mineral deposits. We'll finalize the dungeon in the next 2 or 3 days, and then we'll worry about the refinery and the upgrades. And then we got to do some new sprite art for the overworld to make it a little more diverse. And then maybe a couple new dungeon ones too, because the dungeons are starting to look a little plain. All it is just like mud floor and mud walls. But then, yeah, there's only like 1 dungeon here. I don't think we're doing the heart containers for the demo. I think we've got to just not worry about that for the demo. But then we need the vibrancy. That's another big mechanic that isn't at all incorporated right now. That shouldn't be too bad to render the vibrancy, deplete the vibrancy, and recharge it. That shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, the mineral deposit resetting is going to be tricky, and the inventory for that. I don't really have a spot for those in the inventory. They don't really have a place in the selectable inventory. So maybe what we do, maybe I make a bottom row of mineral collectibles, and they're just not selectable, and it just tells you how much you have of them, because we only have like two equipable items in. Actually, we'll only have 1 equipable item in the main inventory slot. You can just put your loot on, because we don't have anything else. We don't have berries. We don't have magic sand. We don't have anything. Yeah, so the minerals will probably go into. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking they'll go into the A slot, but they might not be selectable. It'll be like a permanent kind of like, if you have none of them, it'll show up in your inventory as 0, but they'll still show up there, and you can't select it, you can't equip it. But if you exchange it at the refinery, then it'll update that amount. Okay, So yeah, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. I think we're still on track. I think we're still on track to finish the demo by April 1st. So I think we're doing good. It's gonna be a crunch, but we're making good progress. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll find a person to raid out to here. And thanks, Yogurt, for the Prime. That's really cool. And let's see. Booyah is up. Shaky Coder's up. Bright Side's up. Let's see. Yo, thanks for hanging, Squinch. Yeah, I'll catch you later. Yo, this person's doing some assembly for the Game Boy. So yeah, we'll read out here. They're doing some Game Boy assembly development, which I think is kind of cool. So we'll read out. Thanks for hanging, Yogurt. Appreciate the sub. Yeah, I'll catch you later. And we'll read out. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for watching.